I never expected my last day of senior year to explode into a full-blown crisis. One moment, I was cradling my math textbook in the empty hallway, and the next, Chloe's elbow slammed me against the lockers with enough force to jolt my spine. My notebooks fluttered to the floor like frightened birds as the fire alarm blared overhead, red lights casting the corridor in a panic glow. I tasted adrenaline like salt on my tongue while students scattered, their shouts echoing off the walls. I gulped air, vision blurring, but something in Chloe's cold stare told me this was only the beginning.
Alakaztra Fairy Folktales.
My name is Mia Taylor, and I've always been the kind of girl who hides behind her thick glasses and a stack of coding manuals. I adore algebra puzzles, spend weekends debugging apps, and feel at home in the silent stacks of the library's second floor. I never sought attention, except from Chloe Martin. She's the queen bee at Crestwood High. Long limbs, designer sneakers that cost a fortune, and a laugh that cuts through the chatter like a knife. Her presence turned every hallway into a runway, and I was always the unwelcome passerby. Chloe's gang, Amber Hayes and Jasmine Brooks, haunted my every move. They called me Nitu the Robot because of how I sat so still, head buried in a textbook in study hall. They shoved me in crowded corridors, sent burning text messages at midnight, and once changed my locker combination so I spent an hour locked in panic. I learned to navigate the school like a ghost, footsteps soft, shoulders squared against their taunts. Home was my only refuge, until the nightmares started, replaying every cruel laugh on infinite loop. Then came Mr. Okoro's final assignment, a 3-person science expo on sustainable energy. My heart sank when I saw the group lists. Mia Taylor, Chloe Martin, Jasmine Brooks. The paper trembled in my fingers. I wanted to hide behind my laptop screen forever, but fate shoved me into the art room, face to face with my greatest tormentor. I swallowed hard and said, "Hello." Chloe's lips curved without warmth. Amber scoffed. "Let's just get this over with," Jasmine drawled, flicking her hair with practiced indifference. Our first meeting felt like a battlefield. I spread my research notes, graphs, data tables, handwritten equations, across the scratched wooden table. Chloe leaned back, arms crossed, her gold necklace glinting under the fluorescent lights. "Explain your plan," she said, voice flat as concrete. I took a breath and described our simple solar-powered generator model. Jasmine rolled her eyes so hard I heard a click. Amber yawned, but Chloe's foot tapped faster, like she was decoding a secret message in my words. Her gaze flicked to the empty door, then back to me. I wondered who she was guarding against. By day 3, I noticed cracks in Chloe's perfect armor. In class, she glared at me, but in the art room, she left her phone unlocked. Messages from a younger sister named Lara begging for pocket money. I caught Chloe's lashes fluttering as she read. One late night, I wandered past the school chapel and heard her crying inside. My logic said back away. My heart said open the door. I paused, then slipped on the marble floor as I stepped in. She snapped her head up, wiping tears. "Don't tell anyone," she pleaded. I nodded, startled by the raw fear in her voice. Tension peaked when Amber and Jasmine decided they'd had enough of school drama. They tore my carefully printed charts into shreds, then giggled as they dropped coffee stains on my formulas. I found the ruined pages in the trash and tracked Chloe down in the hallway. Voice trembling, I demanded, "You knew they'd do this, right?" She looked cornered, eyes dark. "I tried to warn you," she stammered. My anger ignited. "So you set me up to look like a fool?" I spat. She opened her mouth, but no words came. Her silence hurt worse than any insult. That night before the expo, I pored over sketches in the physics lab until my fingers cramped. My head throbbed with formulas and fear. At midnight, Chloe slipped in, hair mussed, school blazer slung over one shoulder. She held a neat stack of papers. My charts, perfectly redrawn, every line crisp. "I did this," she said, voice low. "I'm sorry I couldn't stop them." I stared, breath caught in my throat. The gesture was simple, but it melted the last of my anger. "Why?" I whispered. She stared at her shoes. "Because it was my plan to protect you," she admitted. The day of the expo, our presentation dazzled the judges. We spoke in harmony, sliding from graphs to live demos without a hitch. Amber and Jasmine lounged at the back, smug smiles plastered on their faces. When we finished, Chloe stepped forward, heart pounding. She revealed private messages Amber and Jasmine had sent, planning to sabotage me and pin the blame on my robot routine. The audience gasped, jaws slack. Accusations flew, screens lit up with proof, and whispers chased the girls out. I watched Chloe's fierce mask crack as the truth blazed for all to see. After school, I found Chloe waiting by the lockers under the fading sun. No more crowds followed her. No more eager gossip. She handed me a tattered envelope. Inside was a permission slip for an international robotics workshop. I used my parents' connections, she said, voice shaking. I want you to shine. My throat tightened as I realized the depth of her sacrifice. I reached out and embraced her, and she didn't pull away. Thank you, I whispered into her blazer. She squeezed back. As I walked home that evening, carrying my backpack and a new friendship, I felt a strange lightness in my chest. I had survived the war between the nerd and the mean girls, but more than that, I'd found an ally where I least expected one. I don't know what tomorrow holds for Chloe and me, but I do know this. Sometimes the fiercest battles hide the truest friendships, and the person you least expect can become the one you trust most.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.